What's going on? Let's talk about today's workout. You've warmed up, your shoulders are ready to go, you have the blood pumping, body temperature is up, nervous system is ready to roll. Then we get into our first exercise, which is going to be a long sitting. That's me in this position, spine upright. I have my dumbbell of choice. I'm going to do a long sitting single arm dumbbell press from here, straight from this shoulder, up, bicep into ear, off arm is bracing, stabilizing. I can do a check here with this hand to monitor where my ribs are. I do not want my ribs to flare out because that's going to mean I'm overextending through my spine. That's one of the reasons why we're in this seated position. Is from this position, it's hard for me to get into a bad position with my spine. So we're going to do the prescribed number of repetitions on each arm in this seated position, core is engaged, working on strengthening each shoulder one at a time. After that, I'll quickly get up from the seated position and I'll get right back into a single arm press variation. I'm going to loop my band underneath my foot. From here, feet about hip width apart, nice stable foundation. I'm going to do a single arm, raise the roof. So raising the roof. Notice this hand, it's monitoring my ribs because now, as I mentioned before, I want to be mindful of what my ribs are doing. If my ribs are flaring out here, notice what's going on with my spine. That's going to put some unnecessary tension into my low back, which is not needed. We're going to get a lot of reps here raising the roof. After I finish this side, I'll move on to the other. All right, after we raise the roof, we're going to take ourselves to the pull-up bar, sliding scale wherever you are, 3 to 10 repetitions of pull-ups. Hopefully you guys have access to the pull-up bar. Hopefully you've been working on your pull-ups. You're seeing progression. So that's what we have, sliding scale, 3 to 10. If you do not have a pull-up bar, find a modification, get a good pull. We're working a vertical pull, so try to do that as well as you can. All right, so I have the band attached high to an anchor point. We're going to do a single arm trucker pull. I'm going to be in the seated position, back on the ground, one arm at a time here, long position. I'm going to walk my hand up the band to just give me a little bit more to pull, to increase that tension. Pulling down, 1, 2, all the way back up, elbow gets straight. Remember, I'm in charge of this tension. This band wants to pull my arm back up quickly. I'm not going to let that happen. We talk about this all the time with the bands. You're in charge of that tension. 1, 2. So that's the key. One arm at a time, trucker pull. You're in charge of that tempo with that band and the tension. Make it count. So that was 4 exercises, vertical push, vertical pull, exercises balancing each other out in that giant set that you went through right there for strength. Then we're going to get into this AMRAP for 20 minutes. That's going to involve the Ruck overhead press, the hold, and we got a couple other exercises mixed in there for the core, and then some plyometric jumping. Ruck overhead presses. I have my ruck loaded up. About 45 to 50 pounds in my ruck. I'm going to start on one shoulder, overhead to the other shoulder, up and over. Squeezing my butt to increase stability and tension through my core. Belly button drawn in like somebody's going to punch me in the stomach. Making my core braced. Once I reach that last rep, I'm putting the ruck overhead. We're gonna lock out holding for the prescribed amount of time with a ruck overhead hold. So notice this position, glutes are squeezed out, elbows are extended, ruck's going into the ceiling. So I'm creating a nice pillar position to support this ruck overhead. Bring it down once the time is done and move on to the next exercise. Star jump, plyometric exercise, jumping. Start in this athletic position, knees are slightly bent. I'm gonna take myself down into a crouched position, up, landing softly, back, in this bent knee position, landing, right back down to my crouch jump, down, down. You get the idea. For the leg lever exercise, I'm gonna put my hands underneath my butt, just like this. Legs are extended out straight. I'm gonna bring my legs straight up to the ceiling, slowly, like a lever, bringing that down. The tendency is you're gonna probably wanna try to do this. Heels touch and bounce. No momentum generated here. As a matter of fact, don't even touch your heels to the ground. Here, right back up, slowly coming back down. Heels almost touch the ground. I'm not gonna cheat and create momentum by rocking or bouncing my heels off the ground with the leg lever. Great core exercise. Don't go too fast. I want you to really feel that in the lower abdominals.